Getty Images. It didn't take long for the NFL's first big injury of the 2023 season to occur. On his fourth snap as a Jet, Aaron Rodgers' season ended after the four-time league MVP suffered a torn Achilles on Monday night against the Bills. Rodgers wasn't the only notable player who suffered a significant injury in Week 1. J.K. Dobbins was lost for the year after the Ravens running back suffered a knee injury. Along with getting blown out by the 49ers, the Steelers lost defensive tackle Cam Heyward, ankle, for at least 8 weeks, and receiver Diontae Johnson, hamstring, for several weeks. The Chargers' offense took a hit with Austin Ekeler injuring his ankle in Week 1, and the star running back has now been ruled out for Sunday's game against the Titans. Below is a rundown of each team's injury situation as the NFL delves into its second week of action. All odds courtesy of Sportsline Consensus. Seahawks at Lions, -4.5. Seahawks. S. Jamal Adams, knee. T. Charles Cross, toe. D. Mike Morris, shoulder, out. L.B. Boye Mafe, knee. L.B. Devin Bush, shoulder, questionable. Lions. D.B. Khalil Dorsey, illness. D.B. Emmanuel Mosley, knee, hamstring. D. Joshua Pascal, knee, out. O.T. Taylor Decker, ankle. Doubtful. Seattle will have to rely on tackles Stone Forsythe and Jake Curhan, with Cross and Abraham Lucas out for Sunday. Bush was limited on Friday after missing practice on Thursday. Mafe missed Friday's practice in order to get some extra rest with the hope that he will be able to face Detroit. Decker's status for Sunday does not seem good after he missed each of the Lions' practices this week. Mosley will miss his second straight game as he continues to work his way back from a torn ACL injury sustained last year as a member of the 49ers. Chiefs, -3, at Jaguars. Chiefs. Travis Kelce, knee. RB Clyde Edwards-Helaire, illness, questionable. Jaguars. Antonio Johnson, hamstring. C.G. Gregory Jr., hamstring, out. OL Brandon Scherf, ankle. OL Luke Fortner, ankle. DL Tyler Lacey, hip, questionable. Kansas City will have two of its biggest stars back in the lineup this weekend. Head coach Andy Reid told reporters Friday that Travis Kelce and Chris Jones will both play when the team travels to Jacksonville. Kelce missed Week 1 due to a knee injury, while Jones was absent due to a contract dispute that has since been resolved. Kelce is technically listed as questionable, but all signs point to him playing after being limited throughout the week. As for Clyde Edwards-Helaire, he missed practice on Friday after returning on Thursday, so his status does seem to be up in the air. Jacksonville will be monitoring the status of two starting offensive linemen as they get closer to kickoff in this game. Starting center Luke Fortner and right guard Brandon Scherf are both questionable to play on Sunday. However, each was limited during Friday's practice, giving them a shot to suit up. Bears at Buccaneers, -2.5. Bears. DB Josh Blackwell, hamstring, doubtful. Buccaneers. CB Carlton Davis, toe. LB Sir Vocha Dennis, hamstring. DL Kalijah Kancey, calf, out. S. Christian Izien, concussion, questionable. Chicago may not have Josh Blackwell when they travel to Tampa, as the Bears have listed him as doubtful for Week 2 after not practicing on Thursday or Friday. Linebacker Dylan Cole, hamstring, and tight end Marcedes Lewis, rest, both carry no designation after being listed on the injury report earlier in the week. Also, the Bears will be without defensive coordinator Alan Williams due to personal reasons, according to ESPN. Head coach Matt Eberflus told reporters that he will fill in as the defensive play caller. Tampa Bay will be missing some key pieces to their defense. In the cases of Davis and Kancey, neither was able to practice this week. As for Dennis, he popped up on the injury report as a limited participant on Thursday and did not practice Friday. Quarterback Baker Mayfield, right shoulder, was listed on the injury report all week, but was a full participant throughout and has no injury designation for this game, meaning he is good to go. Colts at Texans, -1, Colts. G. Quentin Nelson, toe. Tay Kylan Granson, hamstring, questionable. Texans. S. Jimmy Ward, hip. S. Jalen Petra, chest, out. L.B. Neville Hewitt, illness. C.J. Stroud, right shoulder, questionable despite Indianapolis listing both Nelson and Ogletree as questionable. They both were able to practice in some capacity on Friday. Ogletree was a full participant, while Nelson worked in limited fashion after missing both Wednesday and Thursday. Running back Zach Moss, forearm, carries no designation after practicing fully all week, meaning he is in line to make his season debut. Kylan Granson, hamstring, was added to the injury report and will be questionable for Sunday. Houston's Friday injury report included the surprise addition of Stroud, who practiced in full the previous 2 days. Stroud was listed as questionable despite reportedly not showing any visible issues after practice. Davis Mills would start for the Texans if Stroud can't go. Chargers, -3, at Titans. Chargers. RB Austin Ekeler, ankle. LB Eric Kendricks, hamstring. OLB Chris Rumph 2, hamstring, out. LB Diane Henley, hamstring, doubtful. OLB Joey Bosa, hamstring, questionable. Titans. CB Christian Fulton, hamstring. S. Amani Hooker, concussion, out. WR DeAndre Hopkins, ankle. OL Peter Skoronski, illness, questionable. Ekeler and Kendricks didn't practice all week, and were officially ruled out Saturday, along with Rumph. Rumph was limited all week, while Bosa was limited on Friday after not practicing on Wednesday and Thursday. Bosa is still a game-time decision. For the Titans, things aren't looking too promising for Hopkins, who said that his injury situation is a day-to-day process. Skoronski was added to the injury report Friday after being full go on Wednesday and Thursday. Raiders at Bills, -8.5, Raiders. WR Jacoby Myers. Concussion. DeChandler Jones, not injury-related, out. Bills. No injuries to report. After a 2-touchdown performance in the opener that was marred by a head injury, the Raiders will be without wideout Jacoby Myers on Sunday in Buffalo. He did not practice at all this week due to a concussion. Las Vegas will also once again be without Chandler Jones, who posted earlier this month that he does not want to play for the franchise any longer. The Bills enter Week 2 healthy. Center Mitch Morse, finger, was the lone player listed on the injury report, but practiced fully throughout the week and carries no designation. Ravens at Bengals, -3, Ravens. CB Marlon Humphrey, foot. C Tyler Linderbaum, ankle. OT Ronnie Stanley, knee. S Marcus Williams, pectoral, out. T Mark Andrews, quad. Questio Nabel Bengals, RB Chris Evans, hamstring. De Joseph Osai, ankle. LB Marcus Bailey, knee. Questionable. The Ravens are banged up in multiple areas and will be without a number of key players, specifically in the secondary and along the offensive line. All 4 players that have been ruled out were unable to practice all week. On a positive note, however, Mark Andrews was a full participant in practice on Friday, which is an indication that he could make his season debut despite having the questionable tag. Cincinnati is relatively healthy heading into Week 2. However, Bailey is the lone player trending in the wrong direction. While Evans and Osai were both limited on Friday, Bailey was the only player listed as a non-participant after popping up with a knee injury on Thursday. Joe Burrow, calf, remained listed on the injury report, but practiced fully all week and carries no designation. Packers at Falcons, -1.5, Packers. OT David Bakhtiari, rest, knee. RB Aaron Jones, hamstring. LB Key Walker, concussion. WR Christian Watson, hamstring, questionable. Falcons. LB Troy Anderson, concussion, out. CB Jeff Okudah, foot, questionable. Green Bay has listed 4 players as questionable, but they all may fall under different variations of the designation. Neither Bakhtiari nor Jones practiced this week due to their injuries, while both Watson and Walker were limited on Friday. Anderson was able to return to practice on a limited basis on Friday, but the linebacker is still in concussion protocol. As for Okudah, the Falcons' defensive back was limited all throughout the week, so it would appear like he has a chance to play against Green Bay. Running back Cordero Patterson, thigh, was listed on the injury report this week, but was a full participant and does not carry a designation. 49ers, -7.5, at Rams. 49ers. CB Samuel Womack, knee. Rams. LB Ernest Jones, illness. WR Puka Nacua, oblique. C Coleman Shelton, toe. S Russ Yeast, knee, questionable. The 49ers are in a better shape injury-wise now than they were in a week ago. Receiver George Kittle, groin, and wideout Ray McLeod, right, practiced in full this week after both players' statuses were in question heading into the 49ers' Week 1 win over the Steelers. Nacua, a popular fantasy football pickup following his breakout game last weekend, is expected to play despite being listed as questionable. Giants, -4, at Cardinals. Giants. WR Wan'Dale Robinson, knee. OLB Azeez Ojulari, hamstring, doubtful. Lieutenant Andrew Thomas, hamstring. Questio Nabel Cardinals. LJ Collier, biceps. LB Josh Woods, ankle, out. S Buda Baker, hamstring. OL Kelvin Beacom, hand. DL Leki Fatu, shoulder. Questionable. Left tackle Andrew Thomas told reporters that his hamstring is feeling better, but is most likely going to be a game-time decision leading up to Week 2. As for tight end Darren Waller, his hamstring doesn't appear to be limiting his status for this matchup as he carries no designation after wrapping up the week of practice. Beacom and Fatu were limited throughout the week, while Baker, who was also limited Friday, was a full participant during Wednesday and Thursday's practices. Kayvon Wallace would likely fill Baker's spot in the starting lineup if he is unable to play. Jets at Cowboys, -9, Jets. OT Mekhi Becton, knee. OT Dwayne Brown, shoulder. RB Breece Hall, knee, questionable. K. Greg Zuerlein, knee, out Cowboys. OL Tyler Smith, hamstring. S. Donovan Wilson, calf, doubtful. WR Brandon Cooks, knee. G. Zach Martin, groin, questionable. Zuerlein didn't appear on the Jets injury report until Friday, when he did not practice after getting injured during Thursday's practice. Now that he's officially out, the Jets have signed former Browns kicker Austin Seibert. Becton, Brown and Hall each practiced in full on Friday, so it's safe to assume that all three players will be available on Sunday. Zach Martin was the man worth watching as the Cowboys released their game statues for Week 2 after he appeared on the injury report on Thursday with a groin injury. Head coach Mike McCarthy told reporters on Friday that Martin took every rep during the final session of the week, which would seem like he is trending in the right direction. Dallas is also holding out hope for Cooks, who did not practice at all this week but are still listing him as questionable. Commanders at Broncos, -3.5, Commanders. DB Quan Martin, concussion, out Broncos. Tay Greg Dulcich, hamstring. OLB Frank Clark, hip, out. Head coach Ron Rivera told reporters Friday that Commanders defensive end Chase Young, neck, has been cleared to return and will make his 2023 season debut in Week 2. Meanwhile, wideout Curtis Samuel, hip, does not carry an injury designation after being limited throughout the week of practice. While they'll be without Dulcich and Clark, the Broncos will have wideout Jerry Jeudy after the former first-round pick injured his hamstring in late August. Dolphins, -3, at Patriots. Dolphins. OT Teron Armstead, back, ankle, knee. DB Elijah Campbell, knee. Tay Julian Hill, ankle. LB Jalen Phillips, back, questionable. Patriots. OT Trent Brown, concussion. G. Sita So, concussion. G. Mike Onwenu, ankle. WR Devontae Parker, knee. G. Cole Strange, knee. Jonathan Jones, ankle. Questionable. Dolphins fans are surely happy to see that running back Raheem Mostert, knee, and wideout Jalen Waddle, oblique, will play after being on the injury report earlier in the week. Each of Miami's 4 questionable players were limited on Thursday, with Phillips not showing up on the injury report until Friday. For the Patriots, Brown, So and Jones did not practice on Friday. Onwenu, Parker and Strange were limited for a third consecutive day. A former Dolphin, Parker was inactive for the Patriots' season-opening loss to the Eagles. Saints, -3, at Panthers. Monday Night Saints. TBA Panthers. WRDJ Chark, hamstring, questionable. Chark was a full participant in Saturday's practice, so it's a good bet he's playing against the Saints. Offensive tackle Taylor Modone, biceps, was not given an injury designation. Carolina placed cornerback and former first-round pick J.C. Horn on injured reserve as he continues to deal with a hamstring injury. While Horn will miss at least the next 4 games, the Panthers do not anticipate the injury being season-ending. Browns, -2.5, at Steelers. Monday Night Browns. WR Amari Cooper, groin. DT Siaki Ika, foot. DB Juan Thornhill, calf. Questio Nabel. Steelers. RB Anthony McFarland Jr., knee. WR Diontae Johnson, hamstring, out. The Browns got some bad news as Cooper aggravated a groin injury during Saturday's practice and is now listed as questionable. Ika was the only Browns player who did not practice on Saturday. Offensive tackle Jedrick Wills, foot, was a full participant Saturday and he was not given an injury designation. For the Steelers, Johnson is expected to be sidelined for the next several weeks. Defensive tackle Larry Ogunjobi did not practice Friday, but was a full participant Saturday and not given an injury designation.